Is this your first time writing a script? Well, not to worry, because in this video, I'm going to give you a complete walkthrough from start to finish on how to write a script, all the way from the concept to actually writing your very first draft. Coming up, I'm on a journey to create the greatest movie experience in the world. While I'm carving out my filmmaking entrepreneurial path, I want to help you create yours. Let's make some movies. Hey everyone, James Martin here. I'm here to help you filmmakers to not only succeed in your career, but also how to make better movies. Writing can be very, very daunting because there's 10 gazillion different directions that we could go. There's a lot of different ways and different assets we need to think about, different directions, different things to consider. So right now, I'm clearing out the confusion and I'm going to go through the process step by step on how you can get started on your very first script. Please stick around and watch the entire video from start to finish so that you're getting the best value possible. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and turn on the notification bell because we got new videos every single week, tons of great stuff, and I really want you to check them out. Lots of great stuff, and I hope you enjoy them. So let's get straight to the tutorial. So the first thing you need to think about is, what's the purpose of your story? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to achieve? You know, one of the best ways that we can sort of get an idea of where the story is going is to think about, you know, what's the message that you want to convey to your audience? You know, what sort of idea are you trying to explore? What kind of style are you trying to think of? You know, think about what's the moral of the story? What are you trying to show people? What are you trying to express? And the more clear you are on that, the easier it will be for you to figure out where your story is going to go, and everything's just going to come together just nicely. The second thing you're going to start doing is just simply start jotting down ideas of what you think is going to happen in the story. Just random ideas from characters to lines to moments to locations. Just start having basically a brain dump. Just whether it's in a laptop or a notebook, just write down all the ideas that's coming to mind. Just write down as much information as possible. Then, when you feel there's enough information for you to start forming together a story, then the next thing you need to start figuring out are the characters themselves and really try to outline who and what they are. So you're going to create a character description. So you're literally going to write down every single character, from the main characters to the villains to down to someone that may have one or two lines even. And you basically want to give as much of a description of them as humanly possible. And really, you're trying to figure out what kind of a journey are they going on? You know, what are their quirks? You know, what are their good intentions or bad intentions? What's their thinking? You know, one of my favorite tips for writing that I gained one time was there was a video on Pixar and how Pixar comes up with their writing. And one of the things that Pixar does with all of their characters is their characters have an opinion, and that opinion defines who they are. What is your character's opinions? How do they think about certain things? And that's really going to help you to really define who and what they are. You're coming up with that sort of portfolio of characters that are going to be in your movie. When you figure out who they are, what their journey is, what are they going to do, that's going to help you figure out, okay, so what events are going to take place, how are your characters going to deal with this journey and deal with the obstacles that they're going to deal with. All right, the next phase in the story writing, and this is actually one of my favorite steps, which is writing a beat sheet. So a beat sheet is a technique that I learned from film school, and what it is you're basically writing out this huge list of the scenes in your movie. These are very basic descriptions of what's happening in those scenes. This is going to allow you to not only have a clear idea as to what your story is, but you can see where the story is going from start to finish. Maybe you might have a scene where characters can sort of develop, or a character discovers something. Maybe a certain event takes place. You start figuring out, okay, where's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3? Or if you're doing a 5-act structure, same idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this really helps you sort of define what's happening. And these scenes can be as basic or as detailed as you want. My suggestion is first keep the descriptions as basic as possible, only because you're just trying to figure out where is the story going. Again, where is it starting? Where is it ending? Be as basic as possible, from just what's the simple conclusion of each scene. So-and-so discovers this. So-and-so says this. This part happens. Literally that simple. You don't need to go into dialogue. You don't need to go into really heavy descriptions. Just keep it basic. Then, once you figure out the basic outline, you have an idea of where your story is, then start adding in more details, and you can have feelings, emotions, lines, actions, as much information as possible. This is where you're really trying to figure out what is happening in your story. Then we actually get to write the script, or at least write the first draft of the script. So I highly recommend, especially if you're brand new, find a script software that's free, that's not pirating, but allows you just to get that first draft out. And there's tons of resources out there. And if you want an idea of the resources that you can go out and find free script software to use, I'm gonna link it to one of our best videos, which is up in the cards and the description down below, on free software that you can use. So now this is where you're gonna write out the scenes. You're gonna write out the descriptions, the actions, the characters, the lines. And now you're taking everything from that beat sheet and you're just writing it in a script format. And again, the whole point is just fill it out. Just don't worry about making it perfect. Don't worry about things being in the correct place or having right lines and having right moments. Just get it on paper. Have it from start to finish. And if you want to fix it slightly afterwards, that's fine. Do whatever you need to do. The thing is, the first draft you're going to write is known as the vomit draft, because it's going to be the worst draft you're ever going to write. And rightly so. It's going to be the first time that you're just seeing the story come to life. Because now what's going to happen is, once you have your first draft, so you have your full story out in a draft, the next suggestion is put it aside, wait a few days or a week, basically forget all about the project, then pull it out, you have a fresh new eyes, fresh new taste on the script, and then start working on it from there. But don't be ashamed of the script. You might feel a little icky. You might think like, oh, this is not working. Why is this not working? Listen, again, first draft, it's going to be your worst. You're going to work on this for quite a while. Tackle it and just make little adjustments over time. And listen, don't be ashamed if you end up making multiple drafts. You know, I have shorts where I've literally made a dozen drafts of the same script. I have shorts that I'm still writing right now that I've been writing for years. It's going to evolve over time. Then the final step that I recommend is get feedback. It's always good that you just get another pair of eyes, someone that's just taking a look at your script for the first time, and they give you their opinion, because they have no idea what's going on in the story. They have no idea, you know, where it's going to end up. They're getting introduced to the characters for the first time, so they can give you some really good feedback as to what they like, what they don't like, what they want to see. And especially find someone that's also a filmmaker, that also is writing scripts, because they can give you some really great feedback. And just, you know, take the feedback, just listen. You know, you don't have to agree with everything. Just thank them for the advice and then move on and just make your script awesome. Alright, so I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, please smash the like button and share it to other people so that they benefit from this as well. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or challenges about writing your very first script. And by the way, make sure you please subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell, because we have tons and tons of great videos posted every single week. Tons of great stuff coming up, and I don't want you to miss out. So I hope this video helped you out. Good luck with your scripts, and I will see you next time.